API3. Listen, oracles are going to be absolutely massive in the next bull cycle. Nothing can exist in crypto without oracles. They are vital to all of decentralized finance. They're vital to centralized like exchanges. And as the DeFi sector grows, as the overall crypto market grows, and bear in mind there's like over 2 million cryptocurrencies now, as this market continues to grow, oracles are going to be a absolutely crucial part of this entire sort of marketplace. So I want to talk about what API3 can do in the next bull cycle. Before I get into it though, guys, if you're new here and you don't know what this spreadsheet is, these are the first 26 coins that I did videos about on this channel. And in the videos, I showed myself buying up these coins. I expected that they're going to make me a lot of money. And you can see what the prices of all these coins were when I recorded my videos. You can also see the highs that all these coins hit in under a year and a half, and what your profit would have been if you'd have put $100 into them when I released the videos. And if you'd done that for all of the cryptos, that's 26 coins, $2,600 investment in under a year and a half would have been over 123 grand in profit, which is not bad. I sold all of these and now I share all the coins that I own on my website, copymycrypto.com. So anytime I find a coin that I think is going to make me a lot of money, I jump onto my site, tell my members what the coin is that I'm going to buy, what profits I think it can have, and what percentage of my cash I'm going to put in, and they can copy along exactly. It means they don't have to do any work at all. They're going to make the exact same profits as me. If you want to see what profits they've made, that is on the website. If you want to see what I've said in the past, that is on the website. And look, we're less than a year away from these markets being absolutely red hot with coins at new all-time highs. And if you don't have your cryptos picked out yet, then copymycrypto.com can help with that. That's why we have thousands of members on the site, is because a lot of them don't know anything about crypto but are making great money in these markets by copying along. So pause this vid now, check the site out, guys. So API3. API3 launched back in 2020 technically. Did pretty well initially, and actually its overall all-time high was $10.31, which is pretty damn good from its like launch price, which was about $1.20. So it did about 9x initially. Now, the reason that API3 is so solid is because it's not middleman tech. What I mean by that is normal oracles, like your Chainlink, act as a middleman. They're like the bridge between a smart contract getting data, and that middleman takes their cut. API3 don't have that. API3 have the technology that's naturally embedded into a project, so they can get real-time data that they run the API themselves. So there is no middleware at all. This is the first person oracle in the space. And the benefits of this is because these APIs are just embedded, effectively the costs are all reduced dramatically. Because these API providers operate their own nodes, the security is quality, and it also means the risk of centralization is nil. So when we say risk of centralization, the problem with a centralized system is there's a single point of failure. And if that single point of failure fucks up, it can screw with 20, 30 different projects. There's no risk to that here with API3. Because again, there's a direct connection with APIs for the latest data. So they've figured out a way to reduce costs for all projects, to improve security for all projects, and to make sure that all these places are getting reliable real-time data. It's a win-win-win-win. And I honestly think this is one of the best oracles in the space. We've had a little bit of a growth in oracles. Python Network's like a recent release of a crypto project that is an oracle system. That's done very well in terms of market cap quite recently, but that is sort of a Solana-based thing, and Solana's just had quite a run where a number of different Solana projects have done quite well. Look at Bonk. Now, API3 is working with hundreds of projects now. They are providing the ability for all these projects to access real-time data, and again, no single point of failure. It was created by Heikki Vantinen, who's the CEO at CLC Group, and it's also Vantinen is joined by Barak Benligere. I just butcher people's names, by the way. I'm sure that could be said so much nicer. And Sasha Milik is the last one, who's a lecturer at University of Toronto. Now, what makes API3 unique is, again, it's embedded straight into a project's system. Like I said, it's an API is an API provider, runs their own nodes. They can literally just immediately get hold of data without having to go through a bunch of middlemen. They've introduced something called AirNode, which has been created to make API3 deployed in minutes. It enhances transparency and it's reduced transaction fees enormously. The overall growth that they've experienced in the past 2 years has been staggering. And here's the thing, look. There you go. Both 6,813 members now. API3 DAO. That's huge. So again, really strong signs for API3. Downside for them, they're on every exchange going, so there's no market bounce they're going to experience. But this next year, we're going to see enormous growth once again in DeFi. We're going to see enormous growth in the crypto market, especially now Bitcoin is so much more mainstream. Ethereum is inevitably going to get an ETF. Whether that takes another 2 years, who knows? It's not like government or the SEC move fast, so I'm not expecting it to be quick. But when Ethereum becomes more mainstream as well, you're going to see more developers that flock to build, but they can't build on Ethereum because the transactions per second is piss poor. So they'll build on a layering solution, but these layering solutions are what use API3. And if you build it, and for the growth of all of these, whether it's Polygon, Cartesi, Immutable X, Scale, their biggest areas that they're going to grow in are going to be decentralized finance. And for decentralized finance to function properly, oracles have to be smashing it. And API3 is one of those that will do that. And honestly, I've looked at API3 for a long time and gone, this should be a $20 coin at least. And to be honest now, when we've not even had the Bitcoin halving yet, and API3 is knocking at around $4.14, I think the bare minimum, I've always said bare minimum I expect is $20, and I'll stand by that. However, I gotta say, I think API3 could be anywhere from $40 to $100. I really think that's possible. And I think it's going to be dependent on how Chainlink moves. Chainlink is like the first oracle. It's in the same way that like when Bitcoin moves, the market moves. When Ethereum moves, then the layering solutions move. When Chainlink moves, then all the oracles move. So once we start seeing growth in Chainlink, you will see that same growth in API3, except it'll be 4 or 5 times bigger. So one to watch, because again, what they've done in a short space of time has been staggeringly good. So I expect this one to be a big mover in the next bull cycle. Let me know what you guys think about that in the comments down below. And guys, if you want to make the same profits as me in the next bull cycle, you can do. All you have to do is go to copymycrypto.com. That's the site I run where I share with my members every coin I own. Anytime I buy a crypto, I let my members know what crypto I'm going to buy, what profits I think it can have, and what cash I'm putting in, and they can copy along exactly. When I sell a coin, I also do the same thing. I let them know what coin I'm selling, what price I'm selling at, so they get out at the same time. So they not only buy the coins at the same time, they get out at the same time, which means they make the same profits. And again, we have thousands and thousands and thousands of members on the site. And the reason that they're there is because they're making money in crypto, but they're not having to do any work at all. Most know nothing about crypto, but they're still making money. And if you don't have your cryptos bought, sorted yet, we are a few months, well, less than 2 months away from the halving. We're less than 6 months away from these markets starting to really move. And if you haven't bought and got ready, those are profits you're never going to get back. So now is the time to start making a move on that. So if you haven't already, go to copymycrypto.com and find out what it's all about, guys. And that's it from me. Have a good day. Bye-bye.